Hello, 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 and welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is the 28th of March, 2025, and I'm very excited to be talking about the crypto markets with you guys. So time to share the link everywhere, Discord, announcements channel, X here on Twitter. Make sure everybody knows that I think crypto is going to go nuts and that a shakeout is happening, and not to be fooled by it because a lot of people are going to be tricked. Farmer Sam, what is up, my friend? Professor K, hey Dallin, good morning. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you tuning into today's live stream. So, you guys, people are getting tricked. They're getting fooled. They don't realize what's happening and they're falling for it. They're falling for the whale tricks. The same things that the whales do every single time to trick people out of the market. They do the same tricks every single time. If you don't believe me, let's take a look at what happened during COVID in March of 2020. Over here on the right is the COVID drop on Bitcoin, and over here on the left is our most recent crash on Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys, the whales are using the same tricks over and over again. Look at how many people would have been panic selling right here when Bitcoin looked like it was about to fall off a cliff and just go for a new low and just completely drop off a cliff. And look what actually happened to Bitcoin after the March 2020 crash. It just completely recovered. Not only did it completely recover, but it went all the way to a new all-time high. Bitcoin went from being worth $3,700 per coin at the bottom and all the way up to a new all-time high at around 69,000 per coin after the COVID drop. The whales use the same tricks over and over and over again, and people fall for it over and over and over again. And you just have to ask yourself, what do you want to do? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be the person that sells their Bitcoin after a 62% drop? In this case, a 30% drop from our peak. Or are you going to be the person that buys more? And you just have to ask yourself honestly what you're going to do with your money, because a lot of people are making really rash decisions right now and they're selling their coins when they should be buying, right? What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys tuning in. Jason, can you look at ADA, short-term price action? Peace, unity, love, and having fun. What's up, brother? Good to see you tuning in, my friend. They call me Big Poppy Holdler. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good name to be called, right? Big Poppy Holdler. That's exactly the name that you want to be called. Big Dallin, how are you, bro? Please, what do you think of XDC price prediction? Yeah, so let me just finish talking about Bitcoin and we can get straight into our price predictions for the day, okay? But ultimately, you guys, don't fall for it, okay? The whales do the same tricks over and over again. People freak out, people panic sell, they fall for it, and just don't do that, okay? Don't fall for the same tricks. If the market is in a state of extreme fear and everybody's scared and everybody's selling and everybody thinks that a massive multi-year bear market's coming when the bull market really only started recently, you should ask yourself and evaluate their position on things and ask yourself, is this maybe like what happened during March of 2020? Is there maybe some parallels here between what we've seen historically in markets when there's a lot of FUD, when a lot of people are afraid, Yes, there are parallels. There's a lot of parallels between what's happening now and what happened in March of 2020. And in the case of Bitcoin, I would say keep accumulating, keep buying. The big picture, we're going to go higher. We're going to, this is not, this is extremely unlikely, like insanely low probability that 108,000 per coin is the top of this bull market. Like virtually zero. So just keep that in mind and buy the dip, keep accumulating people's fear, and you'll be okay. You'll come out of this not only alive, but you'll come out of this richer than you were before, as long as you don't freak out and sell all your coins down here. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about ADA. ADA, Cardano. Everybody has a different name for it, honestly. So, let's stay in the smaller time frame first, okay? So from a Fibonacci perspective here on ADA, ADA is on the 618 level. This is a very common place for reversals to take place. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see ADA see a bottom sooner rather than later. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it bottom out either near the 618 level, or it could come back down and test the 786 one more time. I'm not saying the market can't go a little bit lower here. A lot of altcoins like Bitcoin, and in my opinion, Bitcoin could be at its bottom here. And a lot of altcoins look like they're at their bottoms too. But it's not impossible for it to go a little bit lower here. But the point that I'm trying to make is, if you wanted to take profits, you should have done it right here. If you want to buy, you should be doing it right now. Because we're in a state of fear. We're in a state of the market being oversold. So what you should be doing right now is buying and not selling. You should be picking up more crypto or holding on to what you have instead of selling. That's really about as simple as it gets, you know. Don't make it overcomplicated. And if you look here for ADA in the bigger picture, ADA is really, you guys, this thing has not even had a bull market yet. The last bull market we had on this thing was in 2021. In terms of our current cycle, we haven't even had a bull run. And it blows my mind that everybody is trying to call a top on the entire crypto markets. Like they think that they're smart enough to say that this is the top of the whole cycle. Fact of the matter is they're not. They're being irrational. They're being emotional, and they don't have their head on straight. And I can say that with confidence. I can tell you guys that people have no idea what they're talking about, especially people that are calling a top on the crypto markets. They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. It's just true. If you look right here on Cardano over on the left and Bitcoin over here on the right, this is more accurate as to what's happening. So if you want to make money in these markets, stay true to what's going on in the big picture. Because what's going on in the big picture is the biggest opportunity of your life. To invest in cryptocurrency and to hold on through the mass adoption cycle where these things go nuts and blow people away. That's really what you should be focused on. This is where your eyes should be. Not on the news, not on the small time frames, unless you're just doing a little bit of analysis, but not focused on the small time frame. This is where your attention should be. If you guys want to get rich in crypto, this is what you should be looking at. Because honestly, this market is providing one of the best opportunities in the history of humanity for producing wealth, for wealth generation. And all you have to do is accumulate at dirt cheap prices before mass adoption takes place. Because that's what's coming for this market, is mass adoption. And we really only just started. Like altcoins, most altcoins haven't even started their bull markets. We're in the disbelief phase of the cycle. We really only just barely got started here on a bullish run. So don't tell me that the crypto markets are topping out, because I know differently, and they're not. They're getting ready for one of the biggest runs in the history of markets. Will it last forever? No. Will it be way bigger than people think? Yes. Can it make you rich if you just take a little bit of risk and put some money in? Yes. The people in life who really succeed are the risk takers. It's the play it safers that end up having all of the problems in life because they tried to play it safe. And when you try to play it safe, you're actually taking the biggest risk of all. But if you want to get rich and you want to be financially abundant, you got to take risk. And it's got to be calculated and smart risk. But as far as crypto goes right now, it's one of the most intelligent risks that you could take to invest in crypto. And I can say that with confidence. I firmly believe that's the case. So yeah, I do think 88 is set up for a massive bull market and mass adoption. And it's going to be glorious and extremely profitable. So just pay attention to what's important. You know, stay focused on what's going to make you money, which is the big picture, and focusing on what's going on in the bigger time frames. Cool. Now let's take a look at XDC, one of my personal favorite ones to do analysis for you guys. XDC. Oops. Let's stick it on the... Oh, goodness. We want that back where it was. Okay, we're going to keep... So I'm just probably going to keep this Bitcoin liquid index over here, this first cycle on Bitcoin, open this whole time. Or at least for a good majority of these altcoins. Because what I want you guys to realize is that in the big picture, this first cycle on Bitcoin that it ever had is essentially what's happening to a lot of these altcoins. Investing in a lot of the altcoin markets right now is either like buying Bitcoin in 2015 at the bottom of its second cycle, or buying Bitcoin in 2012 at the bottom of its first cycle. So let's go ahead and pull up XDC here and take a look at what I'm talking about. Okay, here is Bitcoin's first cycle. Here's XDC. And if you look at XDC, XDC is a spitting image of Bitcoin's first cycle. A little bit more volatile. We had a bit of a bigger pump right here than we did right here, right? People got a little more excited on XDC. But what I'm trying to get in you guys' minds so that you can actually make some money this cycle instead of get wrecked by all the whales is that now is the time to be as heavily invested as you can with a good conscience. Never trade money you can't afford to lose. That's the first rule of investing. No matter if it's stocks or crypto or baseball cards or Pokemon cards, never invest money you can't afford to lose. But you guys, now is the time to be unreasonably invested in the crypto markets, where your conscience is almost a little bit worried because of how much you have in. That's where we're at in the cycle. We're at that phase where we're getting ready for one of the biggest revolutions in human history. And yet everybody's worried about news. And they're all panic selling their crypto because they have their eyes in the wrong place. Why do you think Warren Buffett said, "Let me tell you the secret of getting rich"? Let's see here. "I will tell you how to become rich. Close the doors. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." He's telling you to tune out from the noise of the world. Close the doors. And be greedy when others are fearful. What do you think most people are doing right now? They're in a state of extreme fear. That is the psychology of your average crypto investor, or even stock investor. The only people who are a little bit excited right now are the gold guys, because gold is breaking out like crazy. But fact of the matter is, your average everyday person is afraid right now to buy crypto. And if they're not afraid to buy, they're probably selling, which is basically the same thing, right? But the big players, the whales, the people who know what they're doing, the people who have their heads on straight, they're buying. That's what they're doing. Take it or leave it, believe it or don't, but that's what they're doing. So you just have to ask yourself, what kind of a person are you going to be? Are you going to be the guy that follows the herd and is led to the slaughterhouse? Or are you going to be the guy that buys the dip, right? Be the guy that buys the dip. It's way funner. I'm telling you right now, it's way funner, way more profitable, and way more exciting. So what is my XDC prediction? A new all-time high above 20 cents and a breakout to a new all-time high, just like what happened after Bitcoin broke bullish out of its first cycle, after its first bear market ever, and broke out into a new bull market. That's what I think it's going to do. Nobody knows what Fibonacci extension it will hit after it breaks its old all-time high. Nobody knows. There's levels that we can look at where historically these cycles have broken out to those same areas previously. If I was to tell you, I would guess that it goes over $1. And if we looked at the Fib extensions, we could get into more details about that, but we're not going to do that in today's stream. But for now, just stay focused on this thing in the short term is undervalued. From our local peak right here, it's undervalued. And from our previous old all-time high, it's undervalued. And from the perspective of a market cycle, it can easily do what Bitcoin did right here. And that's what I'm expecting it will do, is a breakout to a new local high, a new all-time high, and then eventually up towards $1 per coin. I really believe it will get to at least $1 per coin. It's worth 6 cents right now. So let's say it just only goes to $1, okay? Which is a pretty big move, but let's say it only goes to $1 per coin. That's 14 times your money. 14 times. If you put $1,000 into this, you'll have $14,000. If it only goes to $1. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is the time to be invested in crypto. This is the time to be buying as much as you can, because this is the opportunity to be able to make insane gains in the big picture with crypto. And that's what you should be focused on if you want to make money in these markets. Can you look into why gold is taking off? Yeah, we can. Absolutely. So if we take a look at gold here, and we're going to go to gold on the bigger time frame, gold is headed into an extended fifth wave as we speak. Okay, so we're going to zoom all the way out here on gold, and we're going to go all the way back to the 1960s. Okay, so here's the 1960s down here, and here's our current pump happening on gold. Okay, now basically the way an extended fifth wave works, that fifth wave is going to be bigger than wave 1 or wave 3. So let's take this, we'll drop it onto the chart here. And you can see this is what an extended fifth wave looks like. So let's remove these lines right here, and we'll just focus on the L8 waves. The reason gold is going so crazy right now is because since the 60s back here, since like 1969, when this bull market right here first started in wave 1, gold has been doing a massive Elliott wave impulse. So we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and now we're headed into our extended fifth wave. This fifth wave could take us all the way, and it's going to have corrections. It's not just going to go straight up. It's going to have corrections along the way up. So be aware of that. But this fifth wave on gold could easily take us to 5,000 per coin. See how much I talk about crypto? Crypto, you guys. Yeah, I talk about crypto a lot, so don't mind when I call gold per coin instead of per ounce. But yeah, $5,000 per ounce of gold. It can easily do that in wave 5. It's an extended fifth wave. It's going to be bigger than wave 3. It's going to be bigger than wave 1. And a lot of times it can be twice as big, 3 times as big. So commodity markets like gold, silver, oil, all of these markets do extended fifth waves. If you go to Elliott wave principle, and we pull up Elliott wave principle on Wikipedia, and you go over here to let's look here, extended, no, let's see, we'll just type in fifth wave here. One of the commodity, we'll type in commodity. Here we go. So if you look at the rules of Elliott wave principle, you can see right here, wave 3 is usually the largest wave and the most powerful in the trend. Although some research suggests that in commodity markets, wave 5 is the largest. So that's like gold, silver, but also applies for crypto. Crypto is treated like digital gold. People, when they're trading crypto, they think of it in terms of digital gold, right? So historically, in 2017, when we had a full market cycle, the fifth wave was extended. It was an extended fifth wave. So with crypto, we also have this happen. But in the case of gold right here, you can see gold is a commodity, and it historically, and according to research, does extended fifth wave. So one of the reasons why we're having such a bullish, crazy run here on gold is because gold does an extended fifth wave. That fifth wave in the Elliott wave cycle is extended. It's bigger than wave 3. So I think this could take us all the way up to 5,000 per ounce. It could take us a couple of years to get there. I'm not saying this is going to happen all at once. And it's going to have corrections along the way up too. Don't expect only green candles. But I think we could hit upwards of $5,000 per ounce of gold before this fifth wave is over. So that's why gold is having such a big run right now. It's because it's an extended fifth wave. Been here since January of 2018. Still ain't going nowhere. Litecoin to the moon. You've been here for a long time, my friend. So thank you for the support. And I agree, Litecoin will go to the moon. Please check out RSR. Yes, we can look at RSR. Absolutely. Go to a smaller time frame here. Okay, look how oversold this thing is in the big picture, right? Look how undervalued this is. From our peak here back in 2021, we are down so significantly from our peak. We're all the way down to levels that are just insanely undervalued. So that's the first thing that you need to look at, is how undervalued we are in the big picture. Because we're super, super, super undervalued here in the big picture. The second thing that you want to look at here with RSR is the beginning of a reversal. So not only are we undervalued in the big picture, but we've started to see the early signs of a reversal. How do we know that? Well, look at the market. The market has started moving off of these lows in a bullish way. And not only is it doing that, but volume is also increasing. So wherever you have increasing price and increasing volume over time, which is exactly what we see here with RSR, that's bullish. That's a sign of bullishness. So to have increasing volume and increasing price coming off of these all-time lows is a good sign in the big picture for this coin. That's a sign of bullishness. The other thing that we see here with RSR is an ABC correction, very similar to the ABC correction that happened over here last summer. We also see an ABC correction that just barely happened with RSR again. So those opportunities are very high, or these ABC corrections are opportunities for buying more crypto. The opportunity is very high when you see an ABC correction like this. So that's a good looking opportunity to be picking up more RSR down here at these levels. I do think we will continue to see a reversal here in the bigger time frame, and for us to turn around as a result of how undervalued we are in the big picture, and also as a result of how much volume is coming in as we're starting to come off of those lows. TA on, oh, you already saw that RSR, okay. Can you do Litecoin? Yes, David, I would be happy to do Litecoin for you. Let's pull up LTC. Okay. So let's talk about the short term first. First of all, there's a lot of volatility right here. which honestly, that can be a really good thing. That can be a sign of whales just picking up a bunch of coins, which you can see that in the volume. We haven't had this much volume on Litecoin since we're really starting to take off and starting our last bull market in 2020 and 2021. So we have a ton of volume here. So whenever you get a lot of choppiness like this, that's not a bad sign. It's only bad for people that are trying to swing trade, because if you try to swing trade this kind of movement, you're just going to get wrecked over and over again, you know. But a lot of choppiness and a lot of volume is generally a sign, from what I've seen historically in these charts, that the market is being picked up by big whales and that it is being accumulated by big whales. So first and foremost, just understand that this coin is being accumulated by big whales, and there's a lot of volume here all through all of this choppiness. Somebody knows that Litecoin is going to go crazy, and it's not just one person. There's a lot of people out there that have their head on straight, or big whales that know what's going on here with Litecoin, and they're really ready for something big, right? And one of the big indicators of this is the Bitcoin pair for Litecoin, which I normally don't do analysis on Bitcoin pairs, right? But this Bitcoin pair, this thing is really ready for a reversal. There's bullish divergence here on the MACD. So we have bullish divergence where we're making lower lows, but the MACD is making higher lows. We're oversold on the RSI. The Bitcoin pair here for Litecoin is extremely undervalued and really ready for a reversal. And so I think a lot of people are looking at this, a lot of big players, a lot of whales that know what they're doing are looking at this, and they're going, you know what? We saw this once upon a time. We saw this with Dogecoin in 2020. And let's pull up Doge BTC here. Dogecoin, maybe. Yeah, here we go. And we'll go to the 1 month time frame, and let's just take a look at this here with Dogecoin. When's the last time that big whales saw this same pattern form in the market? They're thinking about Dogecoin right now. That's what the big whales are. They're looking at Litecoin and they're saying, you know what? Litecoin versus Bitcoin is extremely undervalued. And then they're looking at this fractal of Dogecoin before the 2021 pump, where Dogecoin went nuts and completely vertical, and they're going, you know what? Litecoin is looking pretty tasty down here. It's looking pretty undervalued and pretty ready for a massive vertical pump. That's what they're thinking. That's what I see. And I really think this is going to be a big move for Litecoin. A very, very, very vertical type of move that's extremely lucrative and extremely profitable to play. So just keep picking it up. I know the dollar pair is a little choppy right here, but you also have to understand that we're starting to reverse here on the Bitcoin pair. And Bitcoin is pretty volatile too right now. So there's going to be choppiness on the dollar pair. Don't be afraid of that. Just keep holding on and get ready for quite the roller coaster ride in the other direction. Let's see. Lapo Kalamai. Hello there. Thank you for your videos. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm happy to do these. SUI, please. Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought up SUI, actually. Let's pull up SUI. Crypto SUI. Oh, wow. We broke out of that wedge. That's kind of cool. Is there a place where we have more data than on Coinbase? Maybe on Binance we have more. Yeah, here we go. There's more data here on Binance. This coin is leading, okay? Again, I'm going to talk about the people that are trying to call a top on the crypto markets. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I am going to call people out a little bit, okay? And I'm not being specific to any specific people, but I'm just talking about in general. In general, because of how much FUD there is in the markets, because of how oversold we are, there is a certain group of people that have decided that the crypto markets are topping out and that we're going to go lower and that there's a bear market coming. To those people, look at SUI and get your head on straight and stop thinking like that, because this is really ready for massive gains. This is a bullish flag pattern right here. This thing is set up to just go completely nuts. And if you were here for Solana in 2021 and you saw what happened to Solana, then you know what's about to happen here with SUI. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be extremely profitable. And we just barely started to break out of that bull flag here. So I think what's going to happen is a V-shaped recovery for SUI. I really believe we will get a V-shaped recovery here and a big bull market up to a new local high. But this trend just got started. Like, it just barely got started. This is just one of the corrections along the way. And all you got to do is study markets and look at cycles a little bit. You don't even have to be smart. You could be illiterate. Okay? It's not about math. It's not about anything crazy. It's about pattern recognition. That's what makes a good trader. Emotional resilience, emotional composure, so you need to be able to control your emotions, and pattern recognition. So let's pull up, we won't pull up the IXIC, let's pull up Solana actually, and we'll take a look at Solana in its first bull market ever, and we'll go down to like the daily candlesticks here. You guys, this is if I was to compare SEI or SUI to anything, I would compare it to Solana. And if it looks like anything to me, it looks a lot like this right here on Solana, when Solana was first starting its bull market before it broke out and went nuts and really saw its parabolic run. To me, this crash here on SUI is that first correction inside of a bigger bull market. Look at all this volume here. That's massive. That's so much like what Solana looked like right here in terms of volume. It even has more volume than Solana had at that time. Okay. And what I think is going to happen here for SUI is something like this. We are early in this trend for crypto. We're not late. It's not over. It's not the top. It's not the beginning of a multi-year bear market. We are early. That's where we're at in the cycle. And the quicker you guys can realize this and accept it as truth, the faster you're going to make money and the better trading decisions you're going to make. So that's my thoughts on SUI. Thanks, Big Dallin. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Caesar, for tuning in. Tony Bits 369. We already did analysis on gold. Essentially, gold is doing an extended fifth wave right now, and that's why it's going crazy. And it probably could go upwards of $5,000 per ounce before it's done doing what it's doing. But in the big picture, gold is doing an extended fifth wave, which is common for commodity markets to do. If you look at Elliott Wave Principle on Wikipedia, it'll tell you that commodity markets, wave 5 is commonly the largest move in commodity markets. So that's why we're going crazy on gold. It can go quite a bit higher here. It's going to have corrections along the way up, but it could go all the way up to 5,000 per ounce. How is Telcoin looking? Yeah, let's do some Telcoin analysis. Here we are. Yeah, Telcoin looks good to me still, you guys. There's really nothing's changed in terms of our bull market, in terms of our reversal here in the big picture. Nothing has changed, you know. It's still doing what I'm expecting it to do, which is a big picture reversal. We have our ABC correction from our peak here. We started to bottom out down here. This is where I really started talking about how bullish Telcoin was, and then it ran all the way up to a penny from being worth like a tenth of a penny before, and then it ran all the way up to a penny. And I personally believe that reversal is going to continue to happen. I believe in Telcoin. I believe in the technology and what it does. It's a really cool coin. Like, it works really well. And there's a great team behind it, and they have big partnerships as well. Now, I don't use those things to determine whether or not I'm going to buy something, but it is kind of like nice to know. You know, I only use the charts when I'm looking at whether I'm going to buy something or not. But it is nice to know that it has good partnerships and a lot of, you know, big money behind it. And for me, it looks a lot like Ethereum last cycle before Ethereum broke out to a new all-time high. And the correction that we're currently seeing is a lot like this correction that happened on Ethereum along the way up. It's the same structure in terms of an ABC correction down from the peak. As you can see, ABC down like this. And then in terms of our reversal starting here and a new bull market starting, it's also very, very similar. So I personally believe Telcoin will continue to reverse off of these lows and break out towards wave B would be the first place I'd be looking at. And then after that, really the sky is the limit here for Telcoin. So don't be afraid to pick up Telcoin down here at 0.005 cents, right? Don't be afraid to pick up Telcoin down there. Let's see here. Chronos. Velo, our big Velo Dallin. Yeah, we can do some Velo analysis, my friend. Let's see. Great stream. Thanks, bro. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Street workout. Thanks, Dallin. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to cover RSR for you. It's a good coin with a lot of potential. So, Chronos. Let's do Chronos. Chronos. There we go. This kind of goes back to what I'm talking about with market cycles, you guys. If you start to study cycles, the whole world opens up. And no, you're not going to get every comparison right, but you are going to get a lot of them right, and you're going to get enough of them right that you're profitable. So let's do this here. IXIC. And we'll go over to the 3-day candlesticks, and I want to teach you guys a little bit about market cycles. So here's the internet bubble. Okay. Here is Chronos. Now, the reason I bring up the internet bubble is because it's a great example of the human psychology inside of a market. So this is the euphoria phase of the market. That's when everybody thinks it's going to go up forever. Then you get a bull trap phase where people think it's going to break out again because they're like, oh, this is just a cool off. It's getting ready for a huge run up, you guys. And yet it's a bull trap. So all of the bulls get trapped and they end up getting stuck right there. And the market, you know, they buy more, they get trapped, and the market goes lower. Then you get the capitulation phase and the anger phase and then the depression phase. Now the depression phase is the point of maximum financial opportunity. That's where people have completely given up. They're depressed, they're walking away from the market. They just don't see any value in the market. They've given up completely. And so because of that, that's the best time possible to be buying more of whatever you're buying, whether it's crypto or stocks or gold. That's the best time to buy. But shortly after the depression phase of the cycle, you get what's called the suckers rally, and then usually the market will double bottom. It'll come back down and double bottom one more time, right? And basically what's happened here with Chronos, is exactly this. You have the euphoria phase right here. You have your bull trap right here. You have your anger phase right here. You have your capitulation phase right here. And you have your depression phase right there. Then you get a suckers rally. That's where everybody's like, oh, that's only for suckers. Only suckers are buying crypto. You know, don't buy any more crypto. It's only for suckers. And then it comes back down and double bottoms. So there's our suckers rally. And then here's our double bottom. This is the psychology of a market. And it happens over and over and over again. Because basically when the market grows, there's always new people. And when there's new people and they don't learn from it, the psychology doesn't change. As more money comes into the market, there's new people. And 90% of those people have no idea what they're doing. Statistically, 90% lose money. So what happens? Well, they fall for the emotion. And because there's emotion, it creates a repeating pattern. Because human emotion is consistent. And it creates these consistent repeating patterns on the chart. And these consistent repeating patterns is the market cycle of human emotion. There's a reason they call it the Wall Street cheat sheet. It's because Wall Street knows that people fall for the same traps over and over and over and over again. Every time, over and over and over again. And that's what this is. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet. That's the human emotion of the market. That everybody if they don't know what it is, they fall victim to it. And they get stuck in euphoria trying to buy more, or they get stuck in depression trying to sell their crypto. So just understanding this one thing about the market and then learning how to identify the different points in the cycle, change your life. It'll change it forever. You will be better than 90% of people that are investing in these markets. And if we look at Crow on charts.cointrader.pro instead of on TradingView, so we can get more historical data, you can see the market cycle even better here. You know, that is a perfect example, nearly perfect example of a market cycle of human emotions, right? If we cycle between these two charts, let that imprint into your mind, and then look at the chronos and tell me that it's a different thing that happened. It's not. It's the same thing. Here's the disbelief phase. Here's the disbelief phase. Here's the euphoria phase. Here's the euphoria phase. Here's the depression phase. Here's the depression phase. It's a cycle of human emotion. And at the bottom of that cycle is the point of maximum financial opportunity. And that's where Chronos is right now as we speak. The point of maximum financial opportunity. At the point of pretty much the maximum contraction. Max contraction would be 0.049 right here. And we're at 0.0, or we're at 10 cents. So around 4 cents would have been our absolute bottom and the point of maximum opportunity. But we're at 10 cents right now. And 10 cents is almost the same. It's still pretty much maximum financial opportunity. It's really close to the very bottom, the very max contraction of the cycle. So just understanding that will make you a better trader. Way, way, way better of a trader. Hello, Dallin, Velo Protocol. Let's pull up Velo here. I wonder if there's a place where you have all even more historical data. Nope, but this will work. We'll just work with this. So here on Velo, we can see exactly what I was talking about earlier in this live stream. The increasing price and increasing volume is bullish, not bearish. And from our peak low here, our point of depression of the market cycle for Velo, we've had increasing price overall. Of course, it's choppiness too. But overall, we're increasing in price and increasing in volume. Now, if you go to my Discord, there's this place called Knowledge and Links. And in here, I have a link for top trading patterns. This is completely free. So join the Discord. Link in the description box below. And in here, it talks about the rules of volume. And one of the rules of volume is that if you have increasing price and increasing volume, that shows strength in the market. What do we have for Velo? Increasing price and increasing volume. That shows strength. I firmly believe that Velo will continue to turn around here and break out. And it will continue to see a reversal here in the big picture. And it will make people rich if they hold on. And it's worth 1 penny right now. It's a no-brainer to be buying Velo. It's a no-brainer. So I honestly believe we will break out up above this local high and start to take off. So keep your eyes on the prize, you guys. Looks like Wrapped Dog is at max cycle. Yes, Wrapped Dog is at the maximum point of contraction. Like, how low can it go? You know, we're at that point of maximum opportunity and minimum risk. We'll just pull up the chart real quick here so you guys can see. Because I love Wrapped Dog. It's one of my favorite coins. Good old Wrapped Diggity Dog, baby. You know what they say? Stay wrapped, you guys. Keep your Wrapped Dog. It's so funny. Wrapped Dog is just a picture of a dog with styrofoam wrapping on its head. I love this coin. It's so cool. We are at the point of maximum financial opportunity down here. I mean, this thing has contracted beyond what people, beyond what most people can handle. Beyond what most people can handle before they sell. Before it's just too painful. But this is the point of maximum financial opportunity. When stuff looks like this, and look at all this volume down here. Like, look at that. We're starting to turn around. We're starting to kind of bottom out and go sideways here. There's a bunch of trading volume. And I think this thing can easily turn around down here. So as they say in the Wrapped Dog community, stay wrapped. Okay? Stay wrapped. That would be my message for the day on Wrapped Dog. Can I look at Bitcoin Cash? Yes. Let's pull up BCH and take a look here at old Bitcoin Cash. I like Bitcoin Cash, actually. And I never thought I'd say that, but I actually do like Bitcoin Cash. Because I was like, okay, when I first got into Bitcoin and the crypto markets as a whole, I was an XMR and Bitcoin maxi. Like, XMR and Bitcoin were my favorite. I just thought Bitcoin was like the coolest thing I'd ever stumbled upon in my whole life. And my little brother is actually the person that told me about Bitcoin. And so I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Just like, I was like, man, this is the coolest thing. And I still love Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a place in my heart. I still love Bitcoin. And I still love XMR. In fact, I probably like XMR even more than normal Bitcoin, personally, right? But I love Bitcoin. I love XMR. But I have come around to Bitcoin Cash. I like Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin Cash will see a good run this cycle, and I think it will make a lot of people a lot of money. And that's the reason I trade crypto. I believe in the technology. I think it's going to change the world, and I firmly believe that crypto is going to improve people's lives. But the reason I trade it is to make money. That's why. And when it comes to Bitcoin Cash, I firmly believe we will see a big run on this coin this cycle. Not in 4 years, not in 5 years, this cycle. So what that can look like here with Bitcoin Cash is, let's see what the RSI looks like. I'm just curious. I haven't been using it near as much as the MACD for the past 5 years, but I want to look at the RSI a little here. Look at that. We have bullish divergence on the RSI for Bitcoin Cash. And we're still pretty oversold right now. So although it can chop around a little bit in the microscopic time frame like this, I think it's going to bottom out soon. Like anywhere near this support level over here, I believe it's going to bottom out and turn around down here somewhere soon on this major support level. That bullish divergence is a very, very, very powerful buy signal, and definitely not one that you want to ignore. If you see bullish divergence, pay attention. I've seen more reversals, either bearish reversals from bearish divergence or bullish reversals from bullish divergence, than any other indicator I've ever used in the past 8+ years of doing this. So that gives you an idea of how powerful bullish divergence really is. And I think we will see a reversal here soon for Bitcoin Cash. And I think it's going to turn around kind of like this. And this will be one big ABC correction that happened before we go for another bullish impulse wave, right? So it'll be like this, A, B, and C. And what it looks like from an Elliott wave perspective too is that we've probably had 5 waves up here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here's our ABC correction. And we're getting ready for another bullish Elliott wave impulse here, right? Another impulsive move on the upside for Bitcoin Cash. So that's my view on BCH, my friend. Okay, let's look at Monero, and I actually love this coin. Monero is awesome, you guys. I personally believe that people should have privacy over their money. And I also don't think money should be controlled by central authorities. I firmly believe that money should be in the hands of the people. That's why crypto is so empowering for the people, because crypto puts the power back into the hands of the people. I believe in small government. I believe that the power should be back in the hands of the people. Money should be by the people, for the people, just like how government should be. And it shouldn't be so big that it becomes its own institution and its own living organism that can become corrupted and controlled. Money, I firmly believe money should be back in the hands of the people. And crypto is one way that we're doing that, because anybody can make their own crypto. Doesn't matter who you are, where you live, what country you live in, what color of skin you have. None of that matters. You can make your own crypto. And if you do, then guess what? You've created your own little money system outside of the central controlled money systems. So I firmly believe in the people having control over money. And it shouldn't be centrally controlled. And once we got off the gold standard, and once we started to move away from the way that we had it set up previously, the corruption has gone off the root, like completely blown out of proportion. And I really believe it's because of our monetary system that the corruption has gone so bad. Or at least that's one major factor in that. Now, Monero, and by the way, you guys, the government isn't all bad. There's good people in government, even at the highest levels of government. So keep that in mind. But we do have more corruption than we used to have, and it's just true. When it comes to Monero here, we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and an ABC correction down, A, B, and C. Then we have sideways accumulation. We broke bullish out of that sideways accumulation. And now what I think is going to happen is kind of a big U-shape rounded reversal here in the big picture. And for me, it's pretty much like buying Bitcoin in 2015. I know I use this fractal a lot, but it's a very, very powerful fractal of human emotion and a great example of what it looks like when a market does bottom out and when it goes for a new bull market. So let's pull up Bitcoin over here. And you can see this is what I'm really thinking of when I think of what Monero can do this cycle and what's happening. I think crypto is headed for mass adoption. And if we're really truly headed for mass adoption, we're going to see a mass adoption cycle. And a lot of coins, including Monero, are going to go nuts. They're going to go vertical and parabolic and make a lot of people a lot of money. And if you look at these two cycles, what I'm really looking for here with Monero is the same kind of rounded structure in the big picture that led to a full-blown bull market on Bitcoin in 2017. 2017 is when the bull market really started. And this is what I honestly believe is coming for not only Monero, but I could go down a list of 30 other coins right now that look like they're ready for this. And it makes sense. If we're set up for mass adoption, it's no surprise that all of these charts look like they're going to go into mass adoption. So I really believe in Monero as a really, really good investment. And also I fundamentally believe that money should be something that that it's in the hands of the people. And that I believe money can be something that's private. I don't think people should know every single transaction, just like I don't think phones should be there should be phone surveillance. I fundamentally believe that phones should be encrypted and they shouldn't be under constant surveillance. I really believe that. And I think that same with our money. Yes, we should pay taxes because we believe in the government, and we believe that we do need at least some form of governing institutional body, right? And I believe we should have government, but I don't believe in big government, and I don't believe in corrupt government. So yeah, we should pay taxes, but that doesn't mean that every single transaction that we make should be under constant surveillance, So I really believe in Monero, but we're done talking about all that because I don't want to make too many enemies out there in one single live stream. So I'm making the NSA mad at me, you guys. The NSA is gonna come attack. No, I'm just kidding. I'm probably okay. But let's see here. Lina, Lina. Lina, let's check out Lina. This doesn't look right. Lina, perpetual contract. Oh man, this looks really bad. Uh-oh. Yeah, it looked like, honestly, this looked like it could have seen a reversal right here, but we just got a massive sell-off. And that volume spike is kind of not good looking. Yeah, I'd be careful with this one. I don't know anything about it, but I'd just be careful buying it. I'm not saying it's impossible that it reverses, but it wouldn't be on my top 10 or anything to buy. So it looks kind of bad. I'm not going to lie, it looks really bad. So can you do Arbitrum? Let's check out Arbitrum. Actually, before we do Arbitrum, I just want to mention one more thing here with Lina. One of the reasons this looks so bad here, it's not, see, the volume spike is just massive and it comes out of nowhere. If this was to look better, what can happen is if you have decreasing price like this, and then it's starting to kind of bottom out, but then you have low volume, and then volume starts to increase as it's kind of bottoming out, like with Wrapped Dog, kind of looks like that. But what you don't want to see is price go down and then just a massive volume spike out of nowhere, just like one single candle and one single spike, because that usually means that that thing is going to drop off a cliff and go a lot lower. So if you have something like Bitcoin over here, like how Bitcoin has, the price is going down like this, but as it's starting to bottom out, the volume is coming back in, like right here. That's a good thing. That's what Wrapped Dog looks like, right? That's something you want to actually see in the market, is that exact structure, right? Where all of a sudden volume's coming in, you're super undervalued, but there's been consistent volume all through that, not just one massive spike. That's a little bit scary. That generally means that it's like a Luna situation or something. Wrapped Dog here, for example, is a much better looking chart. This is what you want to see, where there's consistent volume, but now there's increasing volume as we're starting to kind of go more sideways. That's what you want to see, and that's what we see here, right? Increasing volume on Bitcoin over here. Once it started to kind of go more sideways, you see this increase in volume down here. And we also see that same thing on Wrapped Dog. That's what you want to see, right? What you don't want to see is that Lena chart that we just looked at, where a massive volume spike comes out of nowhere. There was no volume previous to it, and it's inside of a big selling candle. That's usually a pretty bad sign. Usually a pretty bad sign. There's no absolutes in markets, really. There's a lot of exceptions to different things. But generally speaking. Cool. Love Monero, can you do Arbitrum? Yep, we'll do Arbitrum, and then we're going to call it a day so I can go do some stuff today. Got some other stuff to do other than the live stream. Let's see if we can pull up one with more data than what we see here. Let's do Arbitrum. Let's try maybe on Binance. There's a little bit more data. There we go. So anyways, so check this out. Bullish divergence. Okay, we've got bullish divergence on the MACD right here, and we have bullish divergence on the RSI. So that's a really good buy signal first and foremost. The other thing that you can see here with Arbitrum is we are pretty significantly down from our peak. We're 86% drawdown. Wherever something's 86%, 80, 90% down, it can be a really good buying opportunity, especially since we do have consistent volume on this thing across lots of different exchanges. And like I said, we have bullish divergence down here. So that's a good thing to see. You want to see that. From an Elliott wave perspective, this to me looks like a big expanded flat correction. So we have wave A, wave B that expands up above wave 0, and wave C. And you can even count the 5 waves from wave B to C, which is what you want to have happen, where you have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. You want to be able to count 5 waves down from wave B to C. That really confirms that that is an expanded flat correction, and that is what we see here with Arbitrum. So I would be leaning towards a bullish reversal happening pretty soon for this coin. And a pretty big one too. A nice strong bullish reversal off of these lows. For me, I think Arbitrum will go to not only a new all-time high this cycle, but I think it's going to go really high. So our previous old all-time high is $2.03. And I think this thing could go a lot higher, way higher than $2.42. If this really is the mass adoption cycle, which I firmly believe that it is, then Arbitrum could go to $10, It could 10x from $1. It's worth 34 cents, but, you know, so I don't know what it would be from 34 cents out. Let's see what that'd look like. Yeah, that'd be 27 times your investment to $10. I personally believe that's at least possible for Arbitrum this cycle as we go into mass adoption for crypto. So that's my views on Arbitrum. So Lena Novello. I did Velo analysis, Caesar. I don't know if you missed it, but I did do a Velo analysis. So Grok 3 is super bullish on Arbitrum. Yeah, Grok, it's actually kind of cool to see Grok's price predictions because it's calling for my first target for Wrapped Dog is the same as Grok's target for Wrapped Dog, which is like my personal first target is 10 cents per Wrapped Dog, and Grok is calling for like 13 cents. So I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. I use technical analysis. I don't know what Grok used, but AI is kind of cool, you know, it's kind of fun to play with. I use AI every single day. Every day I'm on ChatGPT, and I like Grok too. I have a Twitter, so I like Grok. An X account, I like to call it X to honor our great Elon Musk and his decision in changing it from Twitter to X. But yeah, I like Grok as well. AC, I'm staying wrapped. I love to hear it, my friend. I love to hear that you're staying wrapped and ready for the big Wrap-versal. It's called the Wrap-versal, you guys, inside of the Wrapped Dog community. It's going to be the great Wrap-versal. Or some people call it the Rapture. So for all my Christians out there, it's kind of funny to call the Wrapped Dog reversal the Rapture. So anyways, Lena less than Shiba. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Amin product. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I do like Shiba Inu, and I am bullish on it. Bullish divergence right here on both the histogram, the MACD or the histogram right here, and on the RSI. Oh, there isn't any on the RSI, but there is bullish divergence on the histogram here for Shiba Inu, and there might be on the RSI if we change time frame. Let's try maybe the 10-day candlesticks. Nope. Maybe the 8-day. Nope. Oh well, I don't see any on it, but we do have bullish histogram divergence here for Shiba Inu, so that's a good sign in the short term for this coin. Can you help a brother out and do Tron analysis? Yes, we're an hour and 20 minutes in, but I will help you do Tron analysis. And then I gotta go, you guys. I'm gonna help my dad with some stuff. He wants some boots, so I'm gonna go help my dad. We've got a bunch of boots that we're selling that got donated to. It's a long story, but yeah, I've got a bunch of boots, a bunch of leather boots, so I'm gonna help my dad get some. So with Tron here, I really, really like this uptrend that we formed with Tron. Tron has an extremely strong uptrend. I mean, even during this big correction that we saw, you know, it kind of crashed first, but that's only because that was a big wick right here. So we did have a bit of a sell-off as a result of that profit taking. But I love this uptrend on Tron. Very early, very just beginning. You can see this up. The trend is your friend. So wherever you have an uptrend, you definitely want to pay attention to the trend being your friend because it's likely going to continue. You don't want to try to fight a trend. You want to try to work with a trend. And wherever you see consistently higher highs and higher lows over time, that's a really, really good sign. So let's go ahead and pull up another chart here on the bottom, and we'll keep one on the top. And the chart I want to use is actually the IXIC. So we're going to look at the internet bubble and take a look at kind of how it formed its uptrend, because there's a lot of parallels here between the early day internet bubble and Tron. So this is what I mean by early day uptrend. Let's go ahead and pull this out and kind of stretch these two charts out. So the way I kind of see Tron right now is a lot like early day uptrend forming on the IXIC right before we went into the internet bubble. There was just kind of this early trend that formed where it wasn't really going crazy parabolic, but it was steadily climbing up over time. And then, of course, it went into the internet bubble and actually went parabolic and then had a big bear market afterwards, right? So that's kind of what I see here with Tron. Is something like that where we're early on, like right here, in that early accumulation of the cycle before we break out and before we go up into kind of a parabolic run and a more vertical kind of move that will end up leading to a bear market of some kind. But that's what I see here with Tron. So yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm thankful for you. And yeah, it was a good Friday. Good Friday to be alive. Good day to be alive. Thank you guys for taking your time to tune into today's live stream. And before I go, I'm just going to play one song for you on the guitar, just for traditional sake, because everybody, usually I at least get one person that asks for it, even though I didn't this time. There you go. Malaguena on the guitar. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you guys in future videos and live streams. And yeah, have a beautiful day and stay profitable out there.